Hello, let me ask you an honest question. Did anyone actually teach you how to handle money? Or did you grow up watching money control people's decisions and emotions? Most of us were not taught money. We absorbed it. We absorbed fear. We absorbed pressure. We absorbed manage it till month end. And now as an adult, we're wondering why money feels heavy, even when we earn more. Here's the hard truth. Most people don't like hearing. Motivation won't fix your finances. You can be inspired today and still make the same money mistakes tomorrow. Why? Because money problems are rarely knowledge problems. They are identity and system problems. That's why I created the Money Click program. Not to teach people how to hustle harder, but to help you understand why you do what you do with money.
Guy, have fun now.
Omo, I'm not really fine. Do you know they paid me last week and right now I can't even boost up to 10,000 naira in my account?
Seriously?
Yes.
Did you budget?
Which one is budgeting? I'm not a politician.
That's why your money is missing like NEPA light.
But I didn't buy anything serious, shoes, bags, the thing that guys need now. And just like that, fiam, the money has disappeared.
But it's all these little things. That's why it's taking your money.
But what should I do?
See, you have to create a budget. You have to track your spending. You have to prioritize your needs over your wants. And you have to save before you spend, not the other way around.
So what you're trying to say that this money management thing is no child's play?
It's no child's play at all.
The Money Click is an annual financial literacy program to help you up your money game. The Money Click is not just about money, it's about mindset. So in the Money Click program, go beyond budgeting to rewire your thinking, to rewire your mindset, to change your thinking about income, to change your thinking about money management. So we'll help you grow your income, we'll help you manage it, we'll help you invest with confidence. Money is not just about what you know. Money is more about how you behave. And every day in the Money Click program, what we'll try to do is to influence how you behave about money. This is not just financial education. This is financial transformation. I will hope to see you become a part of it. Thank you. Okay, hello everybody, and good afternoon, and welcome to another Wednesday live session here on Instagram, on Facebook, and on YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us today, and welcome to our live sessions. Thank you, and thank you, and thank you for being here. All right, yes, I see a lot of people in the comment section. Yes, I see Madam Anne, our cohort leader. I see Madam Botashekia. I see Mr. Chris, cohort leader too. I see Obong Emmanuel. I see Madam Linda Oko from Ireland. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here today. And more people who are going to be joining us, thank you and welcome. So today we want to talk about building wealth in a world that wants us to look rich. It becomes more and more and more difficult to build wealth in the world today, right? So we're going to look at the challenges and we're going to look at the way forward to survive on our wealth building journey in today's world. All right. So once again, thank you for joining us and welcome. Okay. Like I said, we live in a world that rewards looking wealthy before becoming wealthy, right? A world where your expensive phone, your expensive look would grant you better access than when you look simple. Yeah, right? A world where your clothes are better to look expensive, right? A world where you can look, your car can look expensive, your house can look expensive, but you're not really wealthy as well. And that's where a lot of people get trapped. People spend money trying to communicate a level of wealth that they have not yet attained. People want to look a certain way They want to appear a certain way, right? That they've not actually reached yet. Thank you, Madam Tony George from Instagram. Thank you, ma. Right? And that's what is killing a whole lot of people. So a lot of people look rich, but they are financially fragile. It will remain one thing. Just take away one thing out of them, they're on their way to poverty. So there's a difference between looking rich and being wealthy. There's a total difference, right? There's a difference between looking rich and being wealthy. So looking rich is about appearance, all right? It's about how you appear. It's about how you're seen, all right? It's about what you show to people. But being wealthy is about ownership. It's about assets. That's what wealth is about. So you can be rich, right, and not wealthy. Being rich means that you have a lot of money at your disposal. You can have 2 billion right now, cash. You're rich, but you're not wealthy if you depend on your income to make that 2 billion again. You become wealthy when that 2 billion can be made from assets and not really work that you're doing, right? So wealth is measured in assets. So it is dependent on how much assets do you have, how large is your asset base, right? How much money can your assets make you? That's what wealth is about. So you become wealthy and eventually financially free when you have enough income generating assets to cater for your expenses. So if you can make that 2 billion from assets that you own, right? Be it anything, it could be business, it could be when I mean business, the business that runs independent of you. Any business that you're part of everyday running of the business, that business is not really a business. You're just self-employed, right? I'm talking about the business that has systems that runs independent of you, right? Then you have assets like, maybe you have assets in the stock market, in the money market, right? Or you have any kind of mutual fund that you have in the real estate, maybe you have buildings, properties, or lands that you rent out. So far, it brings you cash flow, right? That's the kind of assets we're talking about. When you have enough of those assets to cater for your expenses, we say that you are wealthy, right? So a lot of people want to be rich, but they don't understand what it means to be wealthy. So we have a lot of rich people who are not wealthy, unfortunately. A lot of rich people that are not wealthy. So there's a difference when you're looking rich and when you are actually wealthy, right? When people want to look rich, what will people think when they see me? They want to look rich. If they see me now, I don't want to be caught on fresh. But wealth is asking a different question. What will my financial position look like 10 years from now? What will my financial position look like 8 years from now, 5 years from now, 15 years from now? 15 years from now. That's what wealth is. So looking rich wants you to buy the latest car. Looking rich is about the designer clothes. Looking rich is about the expensive restaurants that you can afford to attend or go to. Looking rich is about the expressive vacations that you want to attend or you want to go for so that you can take pictures and show people that I can now afford this kind of vacation. That's what looking rich is about, right? So it's about, it's not that you want to go on vacation for your sake. You want to go on that vacation so that people will know, so that they will know that you're on vacation in so and so place, right? But building wealth is different. Building wealth is different. Wealth wants investments. Building wealth is productive assets. Building wealth is having cash reserves. It's businesses. It's intellectual property. It's retirement assets. It's income producing assets. Real estate investments. All right? The thing is, one brings more admiration than the other. Yeah. So looking rich brings admiration. Oh, people admire you. They'll follow you on Instagram, self. You gain followers because you look rich. Right? But being wealthy is about freedom. It's about financial freedom at the end of the day. It's about financial freedom. And you must understand the world we live in today. The world we live in today wants you to consume. It's a consumer dependent, it's a consumption fueled world. So every day, somebody is trying to convince you that your current life is not adequate. Right? So they're advertising that you need a newer model of the car that you're already driving. The world thrives on consumption today. So they're trying to tell you that the life you're living today is not adequate. Your car, you need to change it. You need a newer model. You need the one that you can charge your phone inside. Right? Social media is telling you, look at what everyone else is doing. You're left behind though. So the world is telling you upgrade. Your family is telling you, now that you're earning well, you should come and build a big house in the village or at home. The society is shouting, you have made it. Show us that you have made it. Show us you have made it. We want to see it. Right? And before you know it, if you're not careful, if you listen to what the world is saying right now, right, your income will become a means for performance. You start using your income to show that all those things you get them. Get them. Right? It now becomes performance. It now becomes performance. You're now trying to prove that you are earning money. And that's what a lot of us have been doing. We've been trying to prove that we have money. Everything about us has been trying to prove you have money. You move from iPhone 12 to iPhone 15 Pro Max. You just want to show. It's not like you've even exhausted what you can do with the iPhone 12. You've not used up to 10% of the phone. The only thing you do with it, right? The only thing you do with the phone is you go on WhatsApp, you go on Instagram, you go on Facebook, and you drop the phone. You haven't used 10% of the phone, but you upgrade to the next. Why? Because you want to move status. You want to show that now I can afford this one. That's what is killing a lot of us financially. It's because we do not really understand what money is about. Right? It's about what people see. Wealth is not what people see. Wealth is what you don't see. That's what wealth is. Wealth is what you don't see. I read a story on social media about a man who lived in a South Con, right, in an apartment building. So everybody was shocked when the landlord wanted to sell the place, the whole building. And he was the one who bought it. Somebody who lived in the South Con. And he bought it and he remained in the South Con. A lot of us will not go try him. Right? But that's what it is. What is not what you see? It's one of the most important financial lessons that you can ever take. You can see somebody's car. You can see you can't see somebody's emergency fund, sorry. You can see their beautiful houses, but you don't know what is inside the person's investment portfolio. You can see the holiday vacations, destinations, but you can't see what they've done to prepare for retirement. You can't see that. Right? You can see designer clothes. You don't see the debts that they are carrying. So social media especially, which projects a lot of these things, gives you a terrible data set for comparing your financial life with somebody else's. A lot of times, social media is making you compare your reality with somebody else's presentation. There's a difference between financial reality and financial presentation. A lot of what you see on social media is financial presentation. Financial presentation. That's what you see on social media. Right? Not reality. And a lot of us have been moved by the presentations. And we're using it to compare our reality. Wealth is not what you see. It's not. Right? It's not what you see. So the things that they see is not what makes you wealthy. It's not. If you have a stock portfolio today of 500 million, will people see it? They won't see it. But you know the thing? Some people will prefer to use the 500 million and and spend on things that people will see, on the clothes, on the wonderful building that they can see that, oh, I own this building, I live in it, right? on the designer wristwatches, on the phones, on the cars, because they want people to see that I have the money. But the moment you stop wanting people to see that you have money, you start creating wealth. You start focusing on the things that people don't see. Yeah. You start focusing on things that people don't see. Thank you. See that I know a lot of people wearing designer clothes who are driving in debt, and it's true. Because for them, it's about performance, it's about what people see. Yes, that's why a lot of us need to read The Millionaire Next Door. It's one book everybody needs to read. Everybody needs to read it. Wealth does not indeed announce itself. It doesn't. But it's there. But the problem is a lot of people are focusing on the things that everybody wants to. So somebody would prefer, I'm telling you, a typical person would prefer to first buy that wonderful car than buy stocks. I'm telling you. Because nobody will see the stock. Nobody will know they have the stocks. They're not even happy that nobody knows they have those kind of stocks. In fact, if they can announce it, if they can tell people that they eventually get the stocks and they can tell people, I have stocks worth 20 million, they will announce it. They will find a way to say it. It's people who are living for validation of others. And it's our reality in our society today. Yes, arrival mindsets. Everybody wants to show that I've arrived. I've arrived. When you want to really see how much of this mindset exists in us, wait for the month of December. Christmas period. Oh my God. Anyway, we'll come to that. Towards that time, our topic will change. All right, so let's look at the first challenge, right, that people have in creating wealth in today's world. The first challenge is confusing income with wealth. That's the first challenge. Confusing income with wealth. You know, one of the biggest mistakes that people make is assuming that, if I earn more, I become wealthier. No, it's not true. It's not true. Your more earnings doesn't necessarily become wealth if you don't translate it to assets. A lot of people don't understand money. A lot of people don't understand the goal of money. Your income is just one factor of wealth. One factor of wealth. But I remember I've explained this before for those in the Money Click program, that there are 4 factors, right? 4 factors of improving your net worth. All right? And that's how you measure your wealth, is by your net worth. Income is just one factor. And when you focus on income as just one factor, it's like a car that requires 4 legs and you're driving it on 1 leg. Do you think you're going to get far? You won't get far on it. Right? You won't get far on it. So if you don't translate your money, your income to assets, it's wasted. You know, before now, I worked in the NGO and development sector for 10 years, and it opened my eyes about how much people understand about money. A lot of people know nothing about money. Nothing. I got into that sector in 2015, right? And then the people I met who were there, they used to tell us how, in fact, the job doesn't really pay more anymore. That if you know how much they used to make before in this job, that things have changed. That 20 years, 10 years before now, they'll be telling you stories of, all they were paid, the allowances they used to get paid, all that. Those of us that were new, we're like, wow. Hi. And we wish we were born earlier, so that we would have come here earlier. But here's the thing, 90% of them have nothing to show for it. 30 years down the line, the only assets they have are their cars and their pension accounts. That's the only thing. Their cars and their pension accounts. In fact, if pension was not compulsory, they would have spent the pension too. For a lot of people, if they didn't make pension compulsory, they won't have anything at all. So for some people, the only thing they can hold on to and say, I have an asset, is actually that pension. It's the pension. That's the only thing that people can actually hold on to. Right? That's how people do not really understand money. You see somebody who has spent 30 years, 30 years in a sector where he has made a lot of money. Some people spend 30 years in the oil sector and come out and they have nothing. Yes, they have nothing. They're absolutely nothing. They come out, eventually they die broke. Why? Because they didn't understand money. That's why people misuse opportunities. A lot of people have worked for 30 years, 40 years, 20 years, 15 years. But if their jobs end today, they're in trouble. They have absolutely nothing to fall back to. Nothing. Nothing to fall back to. Why? Because they thought that all they had to do was earn money, make money. That's what they thought. They thought all they had to do was earn money. Right? But earning money does not translate to wealth. It doesn't. It doesn't translate to wealth. And that's why we keep inviting people to join the Money Click program to understand what money is about. When you understand what money is about, it changes the game for you. That's why we run the Money Click program. It's about changing your mindset about money. It's about helping you see what money really is, what it is for. Right? It's about reprogramming how you see things. Right? That's what the Money Click is about. You're not in the Money Click. It's one place you need to be. The Money Click is a place for all of us. It's one place you have to be. You need to understand that income is what you earn. Wealth is what you keep. It is what you own, is what you multiply. The second challenge is social pressure. Social pressure. Oh, well, we are Africans now. All of us here, we are Africans. So financial success is expected to be visible. Right? It's expected to be visible. You're expected to build a house, get a car, host big celebrations. Big celebrations. Right? So a neighbor told me yesterday that they are hosting a big celebration for their daughter who just graduated from the university. Big celebrations, right? You wear expensive clothes. People say, you've made it. This guy don't make calm. This guy don't make calm. But what happens when the celebration is over? Right? Are you financially stronger or are you weaker? Some people finish the celebrations and there's really nothing anymore. Some people finish the celebrations and, they are broke. That's why people who are getting married focus more on the celebrations than the marriage. I've seen people that have done wedding. After wedding, they're in debt. When they just finished wedding, but they just got into debt. They just got into debt. Right? That's where social pressure becomes expensive. Because some people did the kind of wedding they did just because they wanted to please people. Yeah, because they wanted to, because they asked themselves, why would my own be different? Why should my wedding be the different one? What would people say if my wedding is not a certain way? What would they say? What would they say? Some people say, no, this is the wedding I've been looking forward to. The wedding I want to use to pepper my friends. You feed others and you starve yourself. I once had a counseling session with someone, and it happened that this person was drowning in debt. But even while in debt, she was borrowing money. She borrowed money for naming ceremony, to throw party for naming ceremony. We need to change our mindset. You need to be in the Money Click program. Sometimes when people come, I just tell them, just join the Money Click program, because with the mindset you have, even if I tell you what to do now, you will not do it. So you need to stay in a place where your mindset will change, and every other thing will change with it. Right? It will change with it. The third challenge is the comparison trap. Yeah, the comparison trap. Do you know what has fueled comparison? What has brought about this comparison trap? Social media. Social media. And you know the funny thing, social media is almost unavoidable. Yeah, almost unavoidable. Almost unavoidable. Even if you decide that you will not have Instagram and Facebook on your phone, you just maintain YouTube, they will still come to the YouTube, you still see it there. You still see it on YouTube, right? You still see it on YouTube. You see somebody's new car, somebody's new house, somebody's new vacation, somebody's business success, luxury lifestyle, right? You don't see their debt, you don't see their family obligations, you don't see their failed investment, you don't see their financial anxiety, you don't see their mortgage, you don't see their unpaid bills. So you're not comparing your behind the scenes to somebody else's highlight reels. Comparison is a thief of joy. And you see, comparison can make perfectly reasonable financial decisions feel like it's inadequate. You may have a good car, right? Until your friend now buys a better one. You now start looking like your car like, this car is no longer. But the car has been okay until somebody bought a better one. Comparison. Comparison. You now start asking yourself, this my car. I need to change this my car. Oh. But before the person bought that car, you never thought about changing your car. You didn't think about it. Right? You may have a comfortable home, very comfortable home, and then you see someone's mansion, maybe on social media or anywhere, and all of a sudden, you don't want your comfortable home anymore. You now want a mansion. Everything now in your mind is a mansion. Right? Comparison. Comparison. You may have a very healthy portfolio. You're investing in stocks, gradually it's going well. Then somebody will come and pay screenshots and tell you that they did Forex. They did Forex and they made 45 million in one day. You drop all your investment strategies, everything. Comparison. You jump into Forex with your two legs at the same time. And unfortunately, because you jumped because of the mindset you used, most times it doesn't all go out well. It doesn't. Right? So comparison kills contentment. And the moment you kill contentment, there's just one result: spending. See, contentment is what helps you to curtail your spending. Yeah. That's what helps you curtail your spending is contentment. Once you're contented, you're okay. You're okay where you are. You're okay with the car you have. You're okay with the house you have. Right? You're okay with the kind of clothes you wear. The moment you start comparing, you kill that contentment. That's the beginning of spending. Let the spending begin. Money go the flow. You go the move. Let's move. Another challenge to creating wealth today is lifestyle inflation. This one a silent killer. Lifestyle inflation, silent killer. Comparison also influences lifestyle inflation. You're earning 500,000 today. You're okay. You're surviving well. In fact, you're even thriving on the 500,000. Then you start earning 1 million, right? Your lifestyle changes. Your lifestyle changes completely. You start earning 2 million. You step up. You step up. 5 million, you move it up. 10 million, you move it up. You move it up. You're earning more and more and more, but your life is not changing. You're not building wealth. Why? Because your lifestyle, you've trained your lifestyle to consume your income. So you move from 500 to 1 million. The extra 500, none of it went to any investment. You just thought about, I've told this story before. I've told this story before about a couple that was struggling, right? This happened so many years ago. A couple that was struggling, things were not too okay for them. So the husband eventually got a job, just like a one-time job kind of thing. but it was going to pay them a good amount of money. They've been struggling, they've found it difficult to do it, even to pay their child's school fees as at that time. People had to bail them out. Then eventually that money came. Guess what they did? They bought a new couch in the sitting room. They changed the carpet. They changed the curtains. They made life better for themselves. Unfortunately, they are in their minds. That's what a lot of people do. Your money, your salary has increased in the last 10 years. What has that increase amounted to in terms of assets? What has it amounted to? What has it amounted to? So a lot of times, all we're focused on really is how we can increase our lifestyle. Unfortunately, we there's a word we use. You don't call it lifestyle increase. We call it living a better life. Some people call it becoming more comfortable. Some people call it enjoying life. So we have different interpretations for it. But at the end of the day, the consequence is that there's no wealth creation. The consequence is that the money that you're supposed to use to create wealth goes to spending. That's the consequence. It goes into consumption. It goes into consumption. You need to sit down and ask yourself, when you started life at some point, how much are you earning? How much are you earning today? Look at the difference. And ask yourself, your assets building, has it followed that same trajectory? I'm not saying you should refuse yourself every pleasure. No. The solution is to ensure that your assets are growing more than your life. Don't refuse yourself pleasure. Enjoy life. But you must have a portion of your money, a portion that is going into wealth creation, at least 20%. At every point in time that you have an increase, let's say they increase your salary from by additional 500, at least 20% of that 500 should go into wealth creation, to go into asset building. At least 20% per time. At every point in time. If you do it consistently, you will be able to have something to show. You'll be proud of yourself. You will see what you've been able to do for yourself. But if you focus on lifestyle upgrade, you will chop even the 20% and even get into debt in the process. The fifth challenge is the pressure to build for appearance. Right? The pressure to build for appearance. You know, there's something about wanting to show people that you've arrived. And it's a problem. And it's a mindset that a lot of people have. It's a mindset also that you will have if you grew up in poverty. Yes. It's a form of trauma. You want people to know that you have not made it. Right? After all those years that you didn't make it, everybody was looking at you somehow. Now you want them to see it. See, when you're coming from a place of poverty, feel the trauma. You come with a lot of pressure for appearance. You want people to see. They saw you. The only thing you feel like the only image they have of you is the image of somebody being poor, not being able to afford something. You now want to change the impression. Above all things, you're focused on changing this impression. They need to see that I've made it, that I'm no longer that person. Right? You need to see it. You need to see it. Thank you so much, Madam Linda. I've thought about I've thought about planned enjoyment. I've thought about planned entertainment. You need to plan it. You don't just wake up and decide that you want to enjoy life. You need to plan it. Right? So back to the pressure to appearance. There's nothing wrong with having a beautiful home, right? There's nothing wrong with having the best car. But are you building because your family needs a home? Right? Are you building because you see this thing as a sound investment? Are you building this thing because it will bring you rental income? Or are you just doing it because you want people to know you've arrived? Which one? Do you just want people to know you've arrived? If you just want people to know you've arrived, if you just want to prove a point, there's a problem. And honestly, it's even bigger than just, it's more of trauma. right? So we need to start looking at the purpose for the actions that we take, right? Number 6 is helping everyone before building yourself. The Jesuses of the world, the Jesuses of our time, the Jesus of the family, the Christ of the families, right? It's a big issue in our African families. The moment you start earning money, everybody will start looking to you. Parent to sibling, no, relatives, so friends, so community. Community. You suddenly become the emergency fund, the school fees provider, the hospital fund, the wedding sponsor, the family project financier, everything are you. I keep on saying, and I will say it again, generosity is beautiful. But if you continuously give away every financial surplus, right, you will remain financially fragile yourself. You will remain in a position where you can get back to the position of the people that you're helping. Thank you, Messiah Complex. Thank you, man. The goal is to build enough assets that your capacity to help others will increase. Build enough assets that your capacity to help others increases without destroying your own financial foundation. See, the truth is, if you create wealth, you have the capacity to help a lot of people. Because if you create wealth, it means that your money is no longer coming from work you do every day. It comes from assets. So it means that you can help more and more people. But you need some form of discipline for you to get to create the wealth. The problem is that a lot of people never get to create the wealth because they think that they have to help everybody that comes to them. So eventually they never create wealth and eventually they fall back to the position of the people they were helping in the past. So it's a problem. And all the most times is mixed with trauma-induced emotions where you feel sad that you can't help, you can't say no, and then you've gone by years and nothing to show for it simply because you were carrying the whole family on your head. And unfortunately, if something happens to the work, to your job, to your income, or anything, it is the same people that will ask you that. So you mean that for all these years you didn't build anything? The same people you were helping will be the people that will be asking you that, Kai, I never knew this person was foolish. They will say that I never knew this person was foolish. All the money where this person make, all the money where he gets. Right? And remember, because you were helping so much, they might even have projected more to you than you have. He said, with everything where you get, nothing to show at the end of the day. Now still, this our position, you can't join us. Right? The 6th challenge is helping. Okay, that's the 6th challenge. The 7th challenge is consuming to heal the past. And this is where financial trauma use 2 leg enter the conversation. 2 leg, carry 2 leg enter this conversation now. 2 legs enter the conversation. Right? Somebody who grew up without a lot of things, who grew up in poverty, who grew up in less, if we put it that way, right? Will be telling themselves, "Oh, I suffered as a child. Now that I can afford it, my children must have everything." So they give their children the latest phones, the most expensive clothes. The birthday could be like party for the nation, luxury holidays, They give the children everything and more that they never had growing up. And there's nothing wrong with giving your children a better life because somebody will not come and say, "Oh, I said they should not give their children better." No, there's nothing wrong with that. Right? But the problem is that sometimes you're not giving from wisdom. Yeah. You're spending to rewrite your own childhood. You're spending out of trauma. And the truth is, when consumption becomes emotional healing, there's no amount that will ever feel sufficient. So you spend until you drain yourself. You can't heal deprivation by buying everything that you once lacked in your past. You can't. Number 8 challenge is wanting the reward before the assets. And it's a mindset problem. You want the reward before building the assets. People want car, they want house, they want vacation, they want everything. People will look at people that has worked for 30 years, 45 years building. They'll watch them in Honolulu and then they'll want that kind of vacation that those people have. People that have built. People want vacations that people who have spent 45 years building their life and their wealth will have. People want the kind of house that people who have spent 30 years building their life or their wealth have. But they don't want the years of saving. They don't want the years of investing. They don't want the years of learning. They don't want the years of building businesses. Right? They don't want the years of delaying gratification. But they want all these things. And that's the reason why a lot of people are getting into dubious things nowadays. Yeah, that's the reason why a lot of people are stealing. It's not just Yahoo. Is not the only. People are stealing in different, especially in public offices. It's hard to find a civil servant who does not take one or two. It's hard. Why? Because they want the lifestyle that took other people years to accomplish. People want to cheat you the moment you get into business with them because they want that. It's so unfortunate. It has become a mindset thing. It's a mindset problem. It's a mindset problem that a lot of people have. That mindset problem now has become cultural. It's hard for you to find somebody who doesn't want to cheat you. It's hard. It's difficult. Right? Everybody wants the fruit. Nobody wants the labor. Especially young people of today. And social media has made it worse. They want the fruit without the labor. They want the fruit without the planting season. They just want to blow. So they do all sorts of things for them to blow. They don't care. They do all sorts of things for them to have the fruits. Nobody wants to plant. World never works that way. Right? Unfortunately, a lot of people continuously keep consuming the seeds and keep expecting a harvest. Nothing will happen. The law of seed time and harvest will never change. It will never change. You can't plant a tree today and it will grow tomorrow. It doesn't happen that way. And you must also even plant a seed before you can carve a tree tomorrow. A lot of people are eating their seeds. They're eating it wanting to look a certain way. And tomorrow, they'll be wondering why they don't have a harvest. Right? Another big problem towards wealth creation in today's world is easy credit. Getting loans have become easier than ever. Right? And you see credit. Credit makes lifestyle look affordable. When it's not. When it's not. So a lot of people have mortgaged their future with debts, with credit cards, with loan apps. You wouldn't want to imagine the amount of debts people have in credit cards and loan apps. It's crazy. It's crazy. And you know the funny thing? The funny thing is that the monthly payment looks small at first. Yeah, it looks small. But you see the total costs is the problem. Is the problem. And you see the people who give you this credit, right? They really don't want you to pay off at once. That's not the goal. So that's why the monthly payments are usually manageable. They want you to keep paying for life. They want you to pay for life. That's the goal. The goal is not that they will give you and then you now pay off once and then go. No, they want to keep you for life. You're a cash cow. That's who you are. That's who you are. You're a cash cow to them. You're a worker bee for them. Right? You're a water buffalo in the farm for them. They want you to work forever. So you keep paying small. You keep repaying them a little by little, right? And then you will do it for 30 years, 40 years. Some people will even finish and transfer to their children. Beneficiary no go receive debts. Inheritance instead of the debt instead of inheritance. So it becomes very easy. Because you think it's easy, you think it's a way out. You need to ask yourself, if you're in debt, you need to calculate your debt, the number of debts you have, right? Is a percentage of your future income that you've already spent. Next month in the Money Click, we're going to be talking about debt. And we're going to see a lot about debt. Yeah, it's the new slavery in town. Financial slavery is the new slavery. And people don't get it, people don't see it. Some people have gotten so hooked, that they don't even see a way out anymore. You're working. See, some people have one job, but they have two. The second is the financial company that they are repaying debt to. So you're working for the other people, and then you're working for the people that you're repaying debt, and you work for them for a very long time because of your past decisions. A lot of people have mortgaged their future income. And it's very unfortunate. Consumer credit is one thing you must stay away from. The ninth challenge is not knowing what wealth actually looks like. Yeah, a lot of people can't imagine what wealth looks like. Real wealth is actually boring, right? It's boring because it's not what people see. It looks like a well-funded emergency fund account. Yeah, diversified investments. It looks like a profitable business. It looks like lands that have been acquired strategically. It looks like a home that you've paid off the mortgage that you own. It looks like intellectual properties, growing investment accounts, stock portfolio, rental buildings. None of these things will attract applause. None of these things will get people to come and clap for you because they usually won't see it. But it creates options for you. And financial freedom is about options. Yes, that's what financial freedom is. It's about options. Option to leave a bad job. Option to help your parents. Option to educate your children. Option to survive an emergency. Option to retire with dignity. Option to say no. The truth is that some people would not have some of these options, so would never have them. Some people already, their children, they've set a path for them, especially those who live abroad, that they would have to use a loan. They have to get finance to go to school. They don't have that option to educate their children by themselves. Why? Because they didn't start building early, because they didn't understand what wealth actually looks like. So what is the way forward? Right? What's the way forward? No, we don't solve the problem by becoming anti-luxury. That's not the way to solve the problem. We solve this problem by becoming intentional. So number one, you need to define what wealth means to you. That's the first thing. Define what wealth means to you. Define it. Don't allow the society define it for you. What does financial freedom look like for my family? Ask yourself. Ask yourself. What does financial freedom look like for my family? Right? What does it look like? It can be 20 million invested. It can be investment of 100 million that is yielding maybe another 10 million as returns every year. Maybe it's enough passive income to cater for your family's basic expenses. Maybe it's owning a debt-free home. Maybe it's being able to retire at 55. Maybe it's being able to retire at 45. Define what financial freedom means to you. Right? Because if you don't define success, society will define it for you. And that's where you have problems. Define what it means to you. Number two, build your financial foundation first. Build your financial foundation first. That's the first thing. You need a foundation. You don't just go on to build a building without a foundation. You must have a foundation. You must have a foundation, right? So before trying to look wealthy, first gain financial stability. Focus on managing expenses. Focus on building emergency savings. Focus on eliminating destructive debts. Focus on investing consistently. Your foundation may not impress anybody. No foundation impresses anybody, even on a building. Even if the building is going to be a wonderful building, at first the foundation doesn't look impressive because people really can't see it. People can't see what the building is about to, what you're about to achieve with the building. When you're making the foundation, they really can't, they don't know what the building will look like. So the foundations don't look impressive. But here's the thing: if the building is going to stand strong, the foundation has to be deep. It has to be done well. But nobody really appreciates that. What they appreciate is the building that is standing. But if you build a building without a strong foundation, it will collapse someday. Number three, pay your future self first. Pay your future self first. It's a rule that you must hold dear to your heart. It's a principle that you must hold dear to your heart. Pay yourself first. You know, we hear it every day as pay yourself first. Pay yourself first. But a lot of people don't understand it. It is paying your future self first. Every money you keep away for savings is you paying your future self. Every money you keep away and invest is you paying your future self. So allocate money every month towards your future. Let that be the first thing you do. Allocate money for saving, allocate money for investing, allocate money to build assets. Then what is remaining is what you spend, and spend intentionally. But you know the problem we have? The problem is that the reverse is what people practice. When people earn money, right? They don't set money out to save and invest first. The first thing they do is they spend. And then what is remaining? What is remaining is now what they invest. Sometimes nothing is remaining. Sometimes what is remaining is so small, or sometimes nothing at all most of the time. Nothing they remain most of the time. So once they are paid, they just focus on life. And before you know, they say, this I really wanted to save this month. So now the money is next month. So people have been procrastinating saving and investing. Remember, saving is not the goal, investing is the goal, saving is just the means to the goal. I'll say it again, right? So the only part of saving that you need to have liquid, or sometimes you can even put it in a place like money market where you can easily access it, is emergency funds, right? So what a lot of people do is, once their money comes, they focus on spending and whatever, they focus on living their life. And eventually, a lot of people have been postponing saving and investing for the past 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. They've been postponing it. They've been telling themselves tomorrow. And that's the reason why we talk about using systems. You can't always rely on your willpower. So set an automatic savings. Set an automatic order that money moves from your salary, your income account, to another account where you have to save, or to your investment platform where you invest. Make it automatic. Stop relying on your. If you rely on your willpower, you can never pay your future self first. But if you use systems, your future self, you ensure that your future self is always paid first. That's why systems are there to support us. Right? Number 4 is to build assets before upgrading appearance. Right? Focus on assets first. Right? Focus on assets. Assets give you stability financially. Right? Then number 5, create a wealth before status rule. Wealth before status rule. You know, in my early days, my mentor used to tell me, function before fashion, wealth before status, function before fashion. So before you buy those things that would, in quotes, make your life better, right? Ask yourself, have I earned the assets that will pay for this lifestyle? Right? If you want that every year, you want to use 10 million naira to enjoy yourself, Focus on building assets that will generate that 10 million annually. Just do it that way. If you want that every year, you want to use 10 million, go on vacation somewhere, or you want to take 10 million, go shopping, or you want to take 10 million and do whatever you want to do with it, build an asset that will get you that 10 million. Build an asset that will get you the 10 million. Right? Ask yourself, what assets can fund this lifestyle? So focus on building assets that will be able to get you the money. Number 6 is learn to enjoy money without worshiping it. Learn to enjoy money without worshiping money. Right? Now, okay, before I even get into this one, the last number 5 points about function before fashion, I want to put it in a way that it becomes more in plain terms. So let's say you want to buy a car right now, right? The car is so bad. Focus on buying a car that is functional first, because you've not built wealth yet, right? Before you can buy a car that is luxurious. You will buy a luxurious car, but when you have solidified your financial foundation, then you can now focus on luxury. Luxury, you don't buy luxury from end income. No, it's an error. You get luxury from wealth, your assets are the ones that should pay for your luxury. So before you grow wealth, focus on function. So when you have 2 cars, right, that you want to buy right now, you don't have a car, you really need a car. You need to look at function first before looking at fashion. When you're buying clothes to wear, focus on function before the fashion. When you want to furnish your house, focus on what is functional before you start bringing what is fashionable. What is fashionable usually comes as luxury. All right. So 6 is learn to enjoy your money without worshiping it. Right? Learn to enjoy your money without worshiping it. Right? We're closing up very soon. Right? Learn to enjoy your money without worshiping your money. Right? Wealth goes beyond wealth building doesn't mean living miserably. No, that's not wealth building. We don't say we should live like a pauper. You're allowed to enjoy your money, but in a planned way, right? Within budgetary limits. You're allowed to travel within areas you can afford. You're allowed to eat good food. You're allowed to buy beautiful things. You're allowed to celebrate within what you can afford. Right? So the goal is not deprivation. The goal is intentional consumption. That's the goal. Intentional consumption. Right? The goal is to enjoy the fruits and not just eat the seeds. Enjoy the fruits, but still keep seeds to plant for the next time. That's the goal. All right. And then one last thing that I would leave us with is to teach your children the difference. Your children need to understand the difference between looking rich and being wealthy. They need to understand it. Right? So teach them to admire ownership more, to admire patience, to tilt them towards more of investing, more towards creativity, towards discipline, towards generosity, towards entrepreneurship. And our last Smart Money Kids workshop that we had here in the Naira Academy, it was all about entrepreneurship. It was all about entrepreneurship. Right? And it was wonderful because the children were able to show what they can do. The children were able to have critical thinking time. Right? They were able to think critically as like entrepreneurs. We were able to push them. Right? We're able to create the mindset. A parent said after that, the child has just been disturbing them about starting as little small businesses then after. That's the whole idea. It's about exposing their mindsets to tell them that, oh, there's something here. There's something in you that you're still keeping dormant. Right? So tilt your children towards entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is first the mindset. Everything is first the mindset. Tilt them towards discipline, towards creativity, towards investing. Investing is first the mindset. And that's also why we're encouraging you to bring your children into the Money Click Kids program. Bring them in the MCK. Get them to join the MCK program, right? You are programming their mindsets. That's what you're doing. You're programming their mindsets every day, right? So, um, um, I want everybody that is listening to this, right now in this live session, I want you to do something uncomfortable, right? I want you to look at your past financial decisions and ask yourself, have I been building wealth or displaying wealth? Just look at your spending, pull out your bank statements, look at where your money has been going to, and ask yourself, have I been building wealth or just displaying wealth? What have I been doing? What have I been doing? Right? As you do it, I'm not saying you should judge yourself. Don't judge yourself. Just be honest. All right? Be honest. If you see that you're moving in the wrong direction, ask yourself another question. If I continue making these decisions for the next 10 years, what will my financial life look like? When you start asking yourself questions like this, ask yourself, if I lose my job today, what will my financial life look like? Ask yourself, if I leave my source of livelihood, what will my financial life look like? Right? Ask yourself, if I keep making these decisions, what will be the financial life of my children? What legacy will I build? These are questions you need to ask yourself on a daily basis. And these questions will help to change your direction because you start seeing things clearly. It will help you to see things clearly. Remember, the world will always encourage you to consume. That's how businesses make money. Businesses make money when you consume. So it's not like you're going to get better. The world will keep encouraging, they will keep enticing you to consume. Right? You will always be surrounded by people who are displaying things. That's how status works. There'll always be a newer car. There'll always be a bigger house. There'll always be a newer phone. There'll always be more expensive holiday, more impressive lifestyle. You cannot control the world, but you can control how you respond to it. You can choose to build quietly. You can choose patience. You can choose assets. You can choose ownership. You can choose financial education. You can choose delayed gratification. You can choose to stop using money to prove your worth. Right? You can choose to stop needing your money to impress people and let your money start serving purpose. The world wants you to look rich. Everybody wants to look rich. Right? But your future self needs you to become wealthy. You need to become wealthy. And yes, you can create wealth. You can create wealth. Everybody has the capacity to create wealth. Everybody has the capacity for abundance. You first need to believe it. I keep saying the law of life is the law of belief. Stop sacrificing your future to impress people who will never pay your bills. Don't spend tomorrow's wealth trying to prove that you're successful today. Stop confusing consumption with achievements. Stop letting social media become your financial advisor. Right? Get yourself in a place where you learn about money every day. Join the Money Click program. Get yourself in a place, in an environment that will help you to grow. The Money Click is that environment. Is that environment that will help you to grow? Is that an environment that will help you to think money? Is that an environment that will help you to grow your mindset about money? That's the environment where you need to be. You need to be in the Money Click environment. And it will change a lot of things about your life. The Money Click will change your life. Why? Because the Money Click will change your mindset. It's a mindset, a game change. The Money Click is a game changer. We're not saying it to convince you. We're saying it because it's reality. It's a game changer for your mind. It's a game changer for your wealth, for your financial life. Because continuously it has been game changer for other people. And it will continue to be. Join the Money Click program. We're saying it, and I'm saying it, and I'm telling you every day. If you're not in the Money Click program, oh, you don't know what you're missing. Stop procrastinating. Don't say tomorrow. Join today. Join today. Go and sit in your cohorts and wait for 2027 January. Right? Thank you so much. The Money Click is not just about, it's also about you understanding, that yes, it's a faith builder as well. Thank you very much. That's what the Money Click is about. See, you will have everything you need to create wealth. The first thing you lack is belief. The second thing you lack is knowledge. The third thing you lack is community. And that's what the Money Click will bring to you. Right? And remember, the Money Click Kids is also a place for your children. The Smart Money Kids workshop, if the Money Click Kids is still far, right? The Money Click Kids is still till January. For a lot of people who put their children, bring your children in the Smart Money Kids workshop. Let them experience it. See, if your children don't use their mouths to tell you, I want to be in the Money Click Kids, don't bring them in. After they join the Smart Money Kids workshop, if they don't use their own mouth to tell you, Dad, Mom, I want to be in the Money Click Kids, if you don't yourself testify that they should be in the Money Click Kids, don't bring them in. That's what we're going to end today's session. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. And see you again tomorrow by 12 noon. Bye-bye.
Guy, how far now?
Omo, I'm not really fine. Do you know they paid me last week, and right now I can't even boost up to 10,000 naira in my account.
Seriously?
Yes.
Did you budget?
Which one is budgeting? Now I'm not a politician.
That's why your money is missing like NEPA light.
But I didn't buy anything serious, shoes, bags, the thing that guys need now. And just like that, fiam, the money has disappeared.
But it's all these little things. That's why it's taking your money.
Nah. But what should I do?
See, you have to create a budget. You have to track your spending. You have to prioritize your needs over your wants. And you have to save before you spend, not the other way around.
So what you're trying to say that this money management thing is no child's play?
It's no child's play at all.
The Money Click is an annual financial literacy program to help you up your money game. The Money Click is not just about money, it's about mindset. So in the Money Click program, go beyond budgeting to rewire your thinking, to rewire your mindset, to change your thinking about income, to change your thinking about money management. So we'll help you grow your income, we'll help you manage it, we'll help you invest with confidence. Money is not just about what you know. Money is more about how you behave. And every day in the Money Click program, what we'll try to do is to influence how you behave about money. This is not just financial education. This is financial transformation. I will hope to see you become a part of it. Thank you.